Welcome to RV Wheel of Fortune. And I hope today that you're going to buy a vowel. You say, what are you talking about? We want to talk about a Class A motorhome. And we're going to talk about some advantages and disadvantages. This is not an in-depth look at a Class A, but we want to cover some of the basics of what makes an A. You hear about a B, you hear about a C, and an A is my favorite if you had no objections. If you had no objections to price, to size, they have all the floor plans, so Class A's make a great opportunity to go out and hit the camping trail. Now, we're going to look at a Class A. We want to buy a vowel today on RV Wheel of Fortune, and this is the biggest type of motorhome. And with that comes advantages, and with that comes disadvantages. Now, the first thing we want to point out on this Class A, or any RV for that matter, is this is full body paint. And you can see that it makes a tremendous difference. Not all RVs have full body paint. Why? Because there's a cost difference. This can run $10,000, so people are willing to go without the paint, but I do want to show you the difference. This is dyed gel coat. Now you can see the back on here where the sun's not shining. They put the paint right in the gel coat. It has a nice shine. If you're willing to do a lot of work, you have it inside, or you're willing to wax it all the time, it will stay like that. But if you let up just a little bit, I don't know how good how well that video is going to pick it up, but it'll start to fade and it'll start to chalk. So it's something to consider when you're buying an RV, whether it's Class A, B, or C. All right, back to this beauty over here. So this is full body paint. This is one of the options that can, if you're looking at Class A's and you're like, why is this so much more expensive than the other one? One of the big reasons is to be full body paint. That is a big cost option versus one that's a dyed gel coat. So take these things into account. Also, this is on 22.5-inch wheels. So this is the closest thing you're gonna get to a diesel ride. And it's a bigger chassis. You can haul more, which is nice, more storage. So the only thing you have to consider with this 22.5, these are not the easiest tires to find. So it would be nice, and it would be a little bit of wisdom to carry one with you in case you have a blowout, because that can happen. Now, this is a typical Class A. So this is your box, bus style RV. And with that comes some advantages. Now, this one, I was looking for one-piece radius doors. This is pocket doors, and that's fine. This is not a one-piece radius door, which comes on your higher end features, but nevertheless it's still side swinging, which I'm a big fan of. The doors that you used to have to pick up, they fall on your head, the shocks wear out, they're coming down all the time, so that's no fun. So one of the advantages of a Class A, while we have the slides in, is the unreal storage. Now, we'll get into a Class A diesel, we'll do another video on those, but this is pretty good storage for a Class A gas. And this is rotocast, so it's molded, it doesn't split, break, it's tough. You don't have to worry, you can easily clean oil or spills. So you can put your fishing poles in there, flag poles, everything can pass all the way through. So one piece, side swinging doors, look at this storage all the way through. So if you're looking for something to live in, Class A gas is your baby. Now this is big, now this is gonna be on most RVs, is a generator. This is a game changer. So no matter where you're at, you have the power to generate and to basically live your life no matter where you're at on the road. That is a super nice advantage. It runs right off the gasoline tank, so there's no separate tanks. So gas stations are available. You get into different classes, you'll get into an LP, and those LPs you have to be aware because in some instances they're 24 gallon. You start running your generator on a high load, you really have to keep tabs on that, and it's just another thing you have to think about. But with a gasoline generator, gas stations are everywhere, and these have huge tanks. This one's probably around 80 gallons of fuel. So basically you can power the entire coach. You pull off at a gas stop, wherever you go, a berm, wherever it's safe, you basically can turn that generator on and you can camp. And of course this is the dump station, nice and high up, easy to reach. You can reach in there, it's covered. So that's nice. Once again, 22.5-inch wheel. Now we're talking about the benefits of a Class A. So it's lots of storage. Outside shower, so you can spray stuff off. In-house water filtration system. I don't drink the water when I'm out on the road. I'm going to carry bottled water, but as far as for cooking, showering, it's nice to have filtered water. In the back, 50 amp cord, stows away right in here. So that's one of the things where you can store gases to the back. Now this is something in a Class A that you have to consider. If you look how long, you're basically, if you're going to pull into a regular gas station, you're going to take up 2 pumps. And sometimes it's not the easiest to get into a gas station. So this is one of the disadvantages of a Class A. You really have to do some thinking. You just can't go anywhere like you can in your car. I have a 12-passenger van that's right around 8.5 feet tall. I went to Washington, D.C. I couldn't hardly find a parking spot because everything, all that parking is basically right at 7 feet or under. So it makes it very difficult. So this is something you have to consider when you're gassing up. I always basically gas up at a half tank. You don't want to get down to where you're at a quarter or an eighth of a tank, and then you start getting stressed, and you might be out somewhere in the great wide open. You just don't want to do that to yourself. So always half a tank, just go ahead and fill up and keep the stress out of it. Now, one of the things about a Class A gas, this is going to be one of the components. You're going to have 5,000 pounds of tow, which is nice. So flat tow a car. And this is one of the issues, one of the drawbacks of an A is you have to have a means to get around once you get to your site. Now, if you're like me and you're always on the go, I don't really worry about those things. But if you're going to go somewhere and stay for a week, of course you have to have transportation. Pulling all your hoses and cords up to go visit somewhere is not the easiest, but you can use all kinds of, you can rent a car, you can get on the website, you can flat tow one, so there's some different options that you can do. But it is something you have to consider in when you're buying a Class A is once you get to the destination, how are you going to get around? So that would be a negative with a Class A gas. Like I said, you can pull everything up, go travel to your destination during the day, but then you got to get home, you're tired, you got to hook everything back up. That's not the easiest solution unless you're out on the road. Ladder, in case you need to get up on the roof, check some seals, which is needed. And this is a one-piece integrated cap. So when you're talking about money, you can say, why is the price so different? You can actually just take a flat sheet of fiberglass all the way down and just stick lights on it. That's the cheap way to do it. But this is all integrated. So it has a nice contour, full body paint, has a nice look. You have your camera integrated, your lights, ladder, has a nice look. 10-gallon hot water heater. Once again, you get into these larger units, you get into a traditional 6-gallon tank. This has 4 more gallons. So this is something when you're out there taking a shower, or if you got to be somewhere in your family, you have to take back-to-back showers. This is a rig that's going to give you more capacity. It has more room. Outside television, entertainment. You also have, once again, more storage all the way down. This is the batteries on a slide tray. This is something that if you're an RVer, you're going to get real accustomed to. Batteries, you have to baby them, you have to take care of them. You have your propane, which is going to supply your cooking, hot water, quick connect if you want to hook up a grill. It's nice you have a Dometic instead of the 2 holes where you got to go in and service it from the inside of the cabinet. And it basically takes a lot of service time. You can just pop 4 screws, pull that out, service it, and it'll help you save money down the road. So nice entrance, basically full body paint, all the way door. You have a step, electric step, which you can see, so these tuck. This is one of the things that you're going to have to maintenance constantly because these things are tucked up under the wheel, so they're constantly getting water. So you're always going to have to basically keep those moved up. All right, more storage. So you can see in a Class A, this is something that is going to help you out on the road. This is a home. You can stay in a destination for a long time. You're not going to go crazy. You have plenty of storage. You have the closest thing you're going to get to a diesel ride in a gas coach. Now, one of the big things, I probably should talk about it on the inside, but is when you're traveling, how can you not say what you're seeing is important? That's the whole reason you're out on the road. Talk about a big screen to the world. Huge piece of glass. You're up high, great visibility. And one of the things why it's on my mind is these normally don't come with airbags, which is a little different. But I guess one of the things, God forbid, if you ever get in a wreck, you're a lot bigger than everybody else. So you're pretty much going to cream about anything that's on the road. So, but they do not usually have airbags. So that's something to consider. But once again, visibility. Look at this visibility all the way around. So when you're out traveling, this kills a Class C. It kills a Class B. The C's have the hood up, basically the cab over. You get into the B's and it's just your regular van view. You get up in a Class A, you're up tall, and you basically can see your surroundings, which is really nice. So this is the outside. This is the benefits of the Class A. You have a one-piece fiberglass roof. You have 2 ACs up there. You have plenty of room for actually more solar capacity, which is big. So some people really get into solar. Well, obviously, with more room, you have more opportunity to put solar panels. So the A is where you can get the most water, tank capacities, fuel, generator. So if you're looking for a machine that's the closest to your house, Class A gas is where it's going to be. Let's head on inside. Come on in. Feels like home, doesn't it? Just look around. Just look around. Now, a Class C can come close to this, but the chassis just won't support all this room, cabinetry, storage. So this is the massive advantage of a Class A, by far. And while you're here, let's just check out the televator. That is real. You probably don't even have that in your house. So obviously you have a booth, dinette, you can drop down, you can sleep. Obviously you're not going to be able to sleep, this is theater seating. But one of the things that's come into the industry in the past couple years, and this is revolutionized, because this was a weakness of a Class A, is sleeping. Sometimes you just didn't have enough sleeping, or it was weird, it was awkward. But now with these beds, you basically can have an entire bed in the front. And this has added so much capability to a Class A. This can't be understated. Now, once again, as we're looking out, I want you to think about that view. When you're driving down the road, everybody that I take on a test drive, it just blows them away. They get so excited. The visibility is just something that can't be understated. You're basically sitting in your recliner chair that you would sit at home and take naps in, and you're actually driving down the road in it. Big screen for visibility. All your controls. If you want to do a little work while you're traveling, a lot of people are remoting right now. Basically slides out. You have a nice little work area. Cup holders, which is big. You have your leveling system. Now, I want you to... Now, when you go to a Class C, or a B for that matter, it gets real iffy on the leveling system because of the weights. So I would dare say, I don't have an exact number, but Class C's, I would dare say that 85% of Class C's do not have leveling jacks. So it is something you have to consider. You literally can pull up to the campground, hit power, hit auto level, all 4 jacks go down, level you up. So if it's pouring the rain outside, you don't have to go out and set up, get soaked, get drenched. You can just push buttons and you're done. And that's a nice feature. Also, this is something that a Class C does not have. Power shade. It's a small feature, but it's nice. And basically, privacy, or if you're heading westbound in the sun, you actually can put this down to block out some of the sun. So this is a Class A feature. Power shade. Great visibility. V8, plenty of power. You actually have a little table that'll go right here, so you actually can turn these chairs. These chairs will swivel. Turn these all the way around. You get plenty of seating. So once you think about, not only do you have a bed, but you have the seating. This is the strength of a Class A. Now, if you look at countertop space, you're basically right at home here with everything. Refrigerator. This is what you get in your house. Traditionally, you're not going to get this in a Class C. So when you're out on the road, and you want that, and you don't want to feel like you're away from home, this is where you can go into a Class A. Nice size shower. Bed. Plenty of room. You actually have a bedroom. You actually can get dressed. Plenty of storage. His and hers. Tons and tons of storage. So you can see a Class A has some real benefit. 2 ACs. It's ducted all the way through. And so whether it doesn't matter where you're at. If you're up north, these have a basement to them, so they're better insulated. If you're down south and it's hot, 2 ACs, and you basically get that full body, so you get that real home experience that people are looking for. So I hope that you can see that a Class A, just a few features, that you can see that this is like a home. A Class C is more of that truck with basically a box on the back. It's a little easier to get around in, perhaps. It's a little shorter, not quite as long in a Class C, but you're going to lose out on your storage and you're going to lose out on the amenities. So this is a trade-off you're going to have to consider, because if you're in a Class C, you're kind of in the same position. If you pull in, you get all hooked up, you still have to have a vehicle too, unless you're going to use that. So a Class A is personally my favorite. Does that mean it's the easiest to get around? Does that mean it's the easiest to figure out situations when you're out on the road and you're on small roads and it gets kind of tight? You get in a city, it gets a little stressful. So those are all things in a Class A that you have to take under consideration. But this has everything that you need while you're out on the road. So hopefully when you're thinking about buying an RV, you'll think about buying a vowel, a Class A. And it is going to cost you, but there are a lot of amenities that's going to take care of you and make you comfortable while you're out on the road. Hopefully this helps. This is Motor Mike reporting for Vacation Trucker at RCD RV Sales in Pataskala, Ohio. Thanks.